Hey guys, and welcome back. I'll be doing the second part of the injector job today on the Volvo V50. I've got the replacement injector with me now. It's a second-hand part, salvage part. It's from sort of reputable breakers that only break sort of newer cars rather than end-of-life vehicles. So there's a 2-year warranty on this. So I'm hoping it's good. But if it's wrong, I've got warranty on it anyway. So that's spot on. That cost me £90, that was including the delivery and stuff. So it's considerably cheaper than new one, which they're in the region of about 160. And for these D2s, they seem to be very difficult to get hold of. I was seeing injectors for other vehicles, for the Volvos, like the D5, for instance, 30, 40 quid. So yeah, a bit of a pain, a bit of an expensive injector, but oh well, I've got one now and we're ready to install it. So let's get straight to it. Okay, so we're going to be putting this back together. Very straightforward. Just simply in reverse order to how you've taken it apart. One thing I will make note of before I do it, the injector that I've got, although it is exactly the same injector, it has got a slightly different part number. So what I'm going to do is just show them on here now, just to differentiate. I'm not too sure what the difference is between them. I'm guessing this other one that I've got from the salvage yard is actually off. I was told a 2012 Focus, so I'm assuming it's just a newer version of this injector. So I'm hoping it means it's more reliable. But I'll put both the part numbers on there anyway, just for reference sake. But this is the original one, and this is the new one, the replacement one from the Ford Focus, the apparently newer one. So as you can see, they are same injector, but they are slightly different, and the codes. But I've been assured it will work and it will be fine. But anyway, yeah, just going to put them back together. So injectors there. One thing to note: you've got this little plastic sleeve here. You want to make sure that is off the old one and onto the new one if it's not on there already, which this one wasn't. So I put it on. And you've got the tiny little green O-ring there. You want to make sure that is not damaged. Possibly replace it if you can. Ideally replace it if you can. And of course you've got the copper washer, again, replace that. You want to make sure all them are in place before you put it there, otherwise you'll have all sorts of issues with leaking. If you can get it sort of clean down there in the head there, where the injector slides in, there was a bit of debris down there for mine, so I've given it the clean as best as I can, but although it's not perfect. And yeah, all we're going to do is simply pop it in. Now the two ways you can do this: either injector in first and then put the bracket on after, or put the bracket in place on the injector and then put them in as a oneer. I'm going to put them in as a oneer and try it that way, always again making note of which way the injector actually goes in, because the collar goes on two ways. As you see on there, it can go front or back. It can only go on two ways, but the injector can sort of swivel when it's inside. As you can see, the sort of direction that I've got some stuck in my throat here. You can see the direction there of the inlet for the fuel. Goodness me, I'm choking on something. So you want it sort of that way. So when you're putting this in place, you want to just have the fuel inlet there in the sort of the 2 o'clock position, and then the leak off in the 11 o'clock-ish position, that sort of thing. That's how it came out, that's how it'll go back in, so just make note of that when you're doing it. Okay, so that's how we're going to have it like that. That's in place. I'm just going to slide that in. What I've done is I've put the copper washer in first, only because I've got nothing really to sort of stick that on the end. A bit of oil should do it, just to keep it in place when you're dropping it in. But I've just sort of, if you can see, actually I've just dropped mine in there. Doesn't really make a difference as long as it goes through. It's not going to fall into the head because it's the hole inside's too small. It's only big enough to allow the end of it to go in. So I'm going to drop that in place now, get it in position and tighten it down. Okay, so that's sitting in there. That's sitting in there nicely now. You want to just give it a bit of a wiggle, a bit of a twist, just to make sure it is all the way down. And then of course make sure, where is it there, that the bracket there lines up over the hole that's in the head there, so that can be tightened down. And as you can see, the inlet part now for the main fuel line has lined up, and then the leak off there is actually sort of in the 9 o'clock position, to be honest. But there, just make note of that. I mean, obviously look at the rest of them, just copy what's on there and you can't go wrong. So yeah, we're going to get that clamp tightened down now, get the bolt in, get that tightened down, and then hopefully it's nice and secure. Okay, so that's in there nice and tight now, nice and secure. Give it a wobble around, make sure it's in. With the bolt there in the collar, you definitely don't want to be over tightening that, because they are prone to snap on the end there. I'm not too sure what the torque settings are. If you're not too sure, it's always best to check to make sure you're not over tightening that, because if it snaps, you're going to be starting over again, getting a new bracket for that. It's a bit of a pain. I'm doing it tight, but not over tight. I've done one of these before, so I'm sort of just feeling for it. If you're happy with doing it that way, by all means, but absolutely recommended to get the torque settings in there. Okay, so now that's on, get the fuel lines on and the leak off pipe, and then we'll get that foam insert back in, because I suppose that does need to go back. I'm actually going to put that foam piece in now before any of the lines are connected, because it will make it a little bit easier. Yeah, it's just need to get this out of the way, and it sort of wiggles in there somehow. I can't actually remember how it goes back in, but I guess I'll just look at the other ones and hope for the best. Right, so yeah, that just slots in there like that. Just sort of copied the other one and it's gone in nicely. So yeah, that's always the best. If you're not too sure, look at the other side or next to it, because next door is going to be right. So yeah, that's in now. So I'll get the main fuel line on there. I've just noticed I've dropped the thing down there, the bolt. It's not too far, it's just on the top there. I think the other one would be a bit awkward, so I mean, if you've got a bit of tape on here, ideally, just to stop that from falling down there, that would help you considerably. Not like I've done. Okay, that's the main fuel line on there. Luckily, that wasn't too far down there. It was only a few centimetres, so that's lucky. That was really good, actually. But yeah, that's that on. Now get the leak off on. Of course, I have taken the other 3 off as well, so the one's still on. Those twist around a little bit. But yeah, same as you put them on, so that pushes down, sorry, that'll go up, pop it on top, if it will, and probably easy getting them up. Well, actually put that in first. I've taken the main one out, we'll put that in first. That just simply pops on there and clips in place dead easily. We'll get number 4 on first. But yeah, that goes down to that pin. Oh, like that, lifting it up, and with those 2 tabs upwards, push it all the way down, and once it's all the way home, push the tabs downwards like that, and then that locks it in place, and that's now locked off nicely. So do the same with the other ones. Again, pull those tabs up, pop it on, you'll hear it click, and then when that's on, pull the tabs, push, sorry, downwards like that, and that locks it in place. I might as well just do the 3rd one. We're here anyway, aren't we? There we go. So we want to give them a good wiggle, make sure they're not loose, because they will drip fuel and it will be stinking inside the car. So yeah, get the plug all connected up now. Right, and that's the cable on, and that is actually it. Of course, what I'm going to do now is plug the diagnostics in now. Delete the code that are on there, fire it up, make sure it's running okay, quickly put my head under there, make sure there's no leaks, because if there is leaks, we'll have to shut it off and try and work out what's going on. If there's no leaks, then yeah, job's a good one. So we'll get the diagnostics plugged in now and get them codes deleted. Right, slight glitch. Turned the ignition on and all sorts was happening with the dash there. I checked the battery voltage, it was like 7 volts in the battery, so I've had to charge it. Currently on charge. A little bit annoying, because I was really sort of quite anxious to get it going to make sure it's, but I'm going to have to give it a few hours now. Then we'll plug it in, check the codes and delete as necessary and give it a whirl. So a little bit of a delay for me, not for you. I mean, it's easy, but yeah. Oh well, these things happen, I suppose. Right, so the car's been charging now for a few hours. I've checked it's on like 12.6 volts. It should be enough to start it up, so I'm going to give it a go now. I've deleted the code already, so the codes are completely clear. So this is the first fire up. Fingers crossed, nothing dramatic happens. I'll turn the side lights on. because the headlights go on. Oh, I'm not focusing, aren't we? Headlights go on permanently on this, so it's a bit of a pain. There we go. I'll just let that go through. All the diesel is drained out. Right, so far so good. Certainly not misfiring. Bonnet open, driver door open. Alright, so far so good. There's no leakage. What I'm going to do now is just check under the bonnet, of course under in the injectors, make sure there's nothing nothing spraying out, no leaking. I'll just give that a quick good look and just make sure everything's alright. Well, so far I think that's rather successful. There's no misfiring. I'll give it a couple of blips. Seems to be okay. What I'm going to do though, I'm going to leave it there because I do need to carry on charging the battery because it is quite low. But I do need to take it for a road test, of course. Once it's under load, if there's going to be any leaking or going to be any problems, I'm sure that's when it will occur. So yeah, take it for a road test and see what happens then. But yeah, for now I'm going to leave it there because I'm quite happy with that. It is firing up. The codes came on immediately previously, so I'm pretty sure that's fine. There's no problems there. But yeah, that's it. So thank you for watching this video. I do hope it helps somebody. Getting a pretty straightforward job, didn't take too long at all, and that's the same for any vehicle that has this 1.6D engine, whether it's the Volvo, Ford, Citroën, Peugeot. There's a fair few cars. But no, thank you very much for watching. Please do like it, subscribe, and I will certainly try and get some more content on whether it's this car or anything else in general. But thank you very much for watching. Goodbye.